I'm Gauvin. We're here in Vancouver testing 27.5 versus 29. We are trying to decide which bike we're going to race this year, and we're going to do some timing, some laps to figure out which one we think might be faster. This is one of a few tests we're going to do over the course of the winter to figure it out. Yeah. We're here with Ken Paris, product manager at Rocky Mountain, and Thomas Vanderham, who needs no introduction. He's subbing in for Jesse today because Jesse's injured, and we're going to try and get some data from him as well.
I'm personally interested in learning something hopefully today. I've been splitting my time really equally between the two bikes, and I feel really comfortable on both. So I'm like a completely neutral party in this today and totally unbiased going in, hoping to just ride the trail consistently and get some times that will maybe help you guys
make our decision.
Make your decision. So
yeah.
So what's your guess before starting?
Like we're testing a short section of trail, so maybe if you extrapolate that into a 15-minute stage on a certain platform, it might end up being that one becomes faster over that length of time, just because it's so much more comfortable and easy to ride. First off, we're going to ride the altitude platform. We've been racing that bike all year. It's a EWS winning platform, and we're going to get a base on that bike and then move to the Instinct and see what happens. What I'm looking for out of this test session is, first and foremost, which bike is going to be faster. If one is minutely slower, but it feels so much more comfortable than the other, that might be something to take into consideration as well.
I feel like the Instinct's gonna take it. Me personally, that's my personal feeling though. For what my time's gonna show.
Let's go riding. Oh, you got me.
No.
What'd you get? 117.
54.
And that was 118. 52.
52.
52.07.
52.66.
Oh, I got 56.
So I won the first section, but Thomas is current leader on the second.
But when you... And what's the egg roll?
Only one.
We don't... I guess the only way to do the overall is to add those two together.
Yep. You don't want to get too competitive, because then you start to
not racing
too
here.
much effort in.
Exactly. That's the thing. There's two more coming.
Okay.
There's a lot of like drops to kind of pinchy little corners and things, and I think that like compression to direction changes on these bikes might be a winner, but the times will tell.
Yeah.
Was that time will tell?
Time will tell.
You gonna get that tattooed on your lower back?
So we just finished 3 laps with the altitude, and what do you guys think? Yeah.
Bike felt good. Definitely interesting to see the times back to back, like stacked up like that.
Overall, pretty consistent between all of us over the 3 laps. We're trying to not necessarily push as hard as we can, but have a consistent feel for each bike, and I think we achieved that over the first 3 laps. So
yeah, it gives us a really good understanding, I think, when we move to the bigger wheels, what we're going to be looking for. I definitely had runs with 1 or 2 bobbles, and then my last run was totally clean, so that's like a really good point of reference. I got both of those times in the bag, so I know if I have a run with a couple little mistakes, I have something to compare it to.
Yeah.
And a clean run, I also have something to compare it to. So
some of my runs were smoother than others, and some I would make a couple more mistakes and then push a little bit to generate that time back, and it'll be interesting to see if, say, the 29er favors just a smoother lap feel but generates the same amount of time, and I think that'll be a good reference to compare it to. Alright guys, so first run on the big bikes. What do you think they can do?
What do you think, bud?
I don't know, seemed you were pretty excited in the parking lot.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of hopped on the bike and you were making moto noises. So
Yeah, try and go the same effort level, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, it should be fun. Let's see how they go.
Super cool to test them back to back like that on the same track. It's the first
Yeah.
time I've done it in the same day on the same trail.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the increase in rolling speed is super evident. Just felt like I was coming into everything with more momentum.
Exactly.
And, having to work not as hard to keep that same momentum. So
Coming into and out of a section with more momentum with a less perceived effort is like kind of my initial thoughts is.
yeah.
So let's do some more laps and
Yeah.
see what we can do.
That was just a warm up.
Fastest one, Thomas?
I did my fastest up top, and then I was very close on the bottom to my
Yeah.
fastest.
yeah, I'm gonna.
And Remy did, both of his were his fastest.
That's what I've been doing every time.
That's a good reaction.
Oh no!
The altitude felt so smooth, and like it just felt that it absorbed the terrain so nicely, but then when it came to like the speed,
Yeah.
just seemed like this bike was already carrying a bit more speed. So it seems that consistently we're about 2 seconds faster on the Instinct on a minute-ish track.
Probably about 2 seconds faster overall on each segment. So 4 seconds on the whole track. I think really it comes down to is, you know, both bikes ride very, very similar. It's that the bigger wheels hold more speed.
Exactly. They're such similar bikes, and it's so easy to go from one to the next. Like even on our first lap on the 2.9er, it felt like a very similar bike. It didn't feel like you were jumping from like two completely different bikes, and that was an interesting feeling because you get on this bike and you're going the same speed right off the bat. So
First run on the Instinct, it just, like, before I saw the time, it just felt faster. I felt like I was carrying more speed into the corners. It required less effort to maintain speed through the flatter sections. So I just kind of had a feeling right away that my time was also going to be faster, and it definitely correlated
yeah.
today.
And it wasn't like mind-blowing times from one platform to the next, but it was just like a little bit faster consistently.
Yeah, my main objective today was purely time. There are other factors that would lead me to decide which bike to take on a certain trip or shoot, but my main objective today was purely based on seeing the times, and so the Instinct was sort of the standout bike in that category today.
For me, it's going to be all about the fastest time at the end of the day, and whatever bike achieves that. And today it was the Instinct, so I think this isn't the definitive test for us, but it's the first step in finding out, which bike we will choose for racing on.
I can't really pick one bike over the other. I think at 6'1", I feel really comfortable on the Instinct BC. It's a very natural fit. Especially the increased stack height from the taller fork and the taller wheel.
Today we didn't come to figure out which bike was more fun or which bike was suited better to every type of person. We just came to figure out which bike was faster on this track, and I think that we have, for the most part, found out which bike is. And yeah, and to answer those other questions is a different test on a different day. So yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.